Give me a minute. That is a GIMME M radar installation. It's $100 million. And Ukraine blew up the fourth one of these. Now, as interesting as that is not the story. The story is that they hit it with ATACMS ballistic missiles. And they're not telling us where it was. Now, the Russians know where it was. The Ukrainians know where it was. Why are we poor mortals not being told where this ATACMS strike took place? Well, I think it's obvious, right? Either it was in the temporarily occupied territories where Ukraine has permission, I hate saying that, boy, has permission to use ATACMS, and so it's nothing new and there's no real news about it. But they want us to think that it was in Russia, maybe in an effort to put more pressure on the administration to change its policy around long-range strikes and get jerks like me to say, oh, must have been in Russia, because why would it be in the temporarily occupied territories? It doesn't make any sense. This thing has a range of 700 kilometers. It can map every drone in the sky from inside Russia all the way to Kyiv, and even farther inside of Ukraine if they put it in the right place in Russia. So it doesn't make sense that it would be in the temporarily occupied territories. It also doesn't make sense that the Ukrainian Armed Forces spokesperson today said that this strategic strike opens an air corridor for more use of storm shadows and scalps. The only way that statement makes sense is if the radar was in Russia, the ATACMS were used to take it out on Russian territory, and now they have a corridor that they can use to shoot storm shadows and scalps deep inside of Russia. Now, look, I don't know which is true. Is this a disinformation campaign by the Ukrainians to try to build more public support for long-range strikes in Russia? It could be. Especially given that Lieutenant General Ben Hodges was at the Warsaw Security Summit last week, and this week, and in an interview with Times Radio today, he said that he spoke with senior administration officials who were present at the Warsaw Summit, and that he is disappointed to report that he doesn't see any change in U.S. policy coming anytime soon. And he's a great source, and he said it with great sincerity, so one tends to believe that that is his experience and what happened this week at the Warsaw Security Summit for him. That does not mean that those senior administration officials were actually in the know, and that in his meeting with President Biden, Zelensky wasn't green-lighted to use ATACMS inside of Russia. We don't know. And this story only confuses the issue more. If we knew where this radar had been when it was destroyed, we would have some clarity. The Russians know where it was. The Russians know whether or not they're getting pummeled with Western weapons inside their territory right now. They know already. Or they know that the gloves are still on, and they don't have these things to fear. What the truth is remains hidden by the fog of war. What we can expect, I think, is some kind of an announcement coming out of the Ramstein group meeting. The Ukraine Defense Contact Group meets in Ramstein, Germany, October 12th. It's over 50 heads of state, including President Biden, who called this meeting. And I am hopeful that we will get some public clarity over how our tax dollars are being spent and whether or not Ukraine's hands will finally be untied in this fight. Thank you.